Hello, dear friends. Welcome to a new edition of our weekly webinar from Proficient. And I'm Shumoy, your old friend. And today it is 21st of December 2018, Friday. And we are doing this webinar after the market closing. Let me first put up the chart of Nifty. This week, I'm doing it a bit differently. I'm first of all putting the performance chart of Nifty versus S&P 500, that is the US equity indices, and look at the scale of this chart. This scale is not in absolute term, but it is in percentage term. You can see the daily chart of both the indices in terms of percentage gains or losses of the past 200 days. You can see that Nifty is clearly outperforming the S&P 500, and in the past 200 days Nifty has gained nearly 5%. That is the overall return of Indian equity market of the 2018 so far. And in the same period, S&P 500 has given a almost minus 9% return, largely because of the decline in December, and there is a recent rate hike in US, and that is being taken as negative. So Indian equities are clearly outperforming the US indices, but this is not quite normal as far as the long-term performance is taken care of. So sooner than later, we are expecting the two markets to catch up, which means Nifty is likely to underperform the US equity in the intermediate to long term. So having said that, let us pull up the chart of Nifty and let's see what happened. This is the weekly chart of Nifty, and the weekly candlestick that we are seeing here resembles like that of a shooting star, and this is entirely because of today's big sell-off. Except today, for the past 4 days of this week, there was a net rise, but today market surrendered its entire gain of the past week, and actually it resembled shooting star formation, which is actually a bearish kind of reversal pattern. Since it is in weekly time frame, it is important, and this requires a bit of confirmation though. If market closes, or if market in the next week, we can expect a continuation of this, and if market trades below the 10,700, that will be more confirmation that the short-term intermediate uptrend is likely to reverse. That is below 700, 10,000 below 700. We can expect the intermediate uptrend to reverse. So having said that, we are coming to the equity markets, but before that, let me take you to the gold and crude oil. How are they faring? Let us see. This is the chart of crude oil, and as we had mentioned earlier, that there is continuous sell-off. Crude oil is extremely weak in the intermediate to long term, trading below most of the important moving averages. Right now it is challenging its $45 a barrel level, and although oversold, yes, there is no doubt it is oversold, but the trend is likely to continue further. We do not know what is the downward target for crude oil, but looking at the way it actually broke down its 4-month consolidation zone, the consolidation zone from third week of November till second week of December, the way it broke down with good volume, it shows that there is much more selling to come out. What is happening in gold? Gold is also weak, and this weakness is because of some strength in dollar. So gold in longer term, it actually uh, has crossed above its 200-day moving average. So in the intermediate to long term, there is we can expect the uptrend to continue in gold. So that is the overall picture. Crude oil is likely to come down, and gold is likely to go higher from here. Now let us come to the equities, especially our own domestic equity markets. Mm, so as I told you last week, the pockets of outperformance still continue to be there, and these stocks like ICICI Bank, like LT, yeah, ICICI Bank, LT, Hindustan Unilever, Titan. These stocks, although took a hit today because market overall came down, but their primary trend is very strong. This is the daily chart of ICICI Bank. This is the daily chart of LT. We can see that except for today's big sell-off, the primary uptrend is pretty clear in the stocks like Larsen and Toubro, like Hindustan Unilever. Hindustan Unilever actually made a bottom at around 1500 level in mid-October, and from there it has come out. It has come to 1850 odd levels, and only in this week it showed some pullback, and right now it is trading at 1800. It closed today at 1800. So these stocks are actually outperforming the index in the intermediate to long term, and this weakness, whatever we are seeing here, will actually give us an entry point, a buying opportunity. So these are the stocks that we are keeping close watch, and likes of Titan, Hero Motocorp, and BPCL. You see, BPCL is actually, the higher price of BPCL is actually driven by lower price of crude oil, lower price of energy. But nonetheless, we can see the uptrend in these stocks. Not to forget about this particular stock, which is Bajaj Finserv, and you can see how Bajaj Finserv actually broke away its resistance and also took support from its 50-day moving average, which is the red line, and it is right now going higher. So this pullback that we are seeing are actually giving us some buying opportunities, because not because market can do anything, but because these stocks are actually outperforming. But there are also underperforming stocks, and these underperforming stocks we would like to trade from the short side. And here we prefer these stocks to trade from the short side. These include mostly the financial stocks, like Yes Bank, extremely downward trending stock, consolidating for past 1 week, but chances are high that the resistance of 200 odd level will work out, and it will give another breakdown to the lower side. So you can keep a stop loss at around this level, 194 odd level, and you can keep a short position for 150 targets. uh, Indiabulls Housing Finance, it is extremely volatile stock, but weak stock. And although this week it saw some rise, but we can see the engulfing bearish pattern on daily charts, and that even in a prior resistance zone of this, which is at around 870 odd level, and from there it took a hit, and we are expecting lower prices ahead for this stock as well. Tata Motors actually formed also a shooting star formation in a resistance zone, although the primary trend is down, but the intermediate trend is choppy. We are expecting the primary trend to resume. So Tata Motors is, we will keep an eye on Tata Motors, and if it trades below this level of 175, we will short it. No issue. IndusInd Bank, also another financial stocks like Yes Bank, like Indiabulls Housing Finance, and we can see that after taking the resistance zone from around 1660 odd levels, it is again retracing back, and the intermediate trend is down. So IndusInd Bank will also be our short-term selling candidate, and also the cement stocks like Ultratech Cement and Grassims. These stocks are extremely weak. Say for example, Grasim, it has already made a top at around 850 zone, and currently it is trading at 860. We believe 780 is the target for this stock. And for this is for Grasim, and for Ultratech Cement, this is also a underperforming stock, and it has taken a resistance at around 4100 level, and like now it is retracing, and we believe this bottom will be revisited at 3800 or 3750 odd levels. So these were the views for next week. We are expecting some short-term correction in the market. Market is likely to pull back, but overall primary trend is we are not expecting the primary uptrend to be reversed as yet. So 10,600 will be the make or break zone. If market comes lower, we will try to find out some buying opportunity on weakness, and these were the stocks. Those are likely to outperform and underperform going forward. So please do trade carefully, trade with stop loss, and see you next week. Thank you. Bye.